Welcome to our presentation on sustainability. What's good for the earth is good for business by Colleen and Mary for LDR 709, Spring 2010. Our presentation is based on the life experiences of Ray Anderson as detailed in his best-selling book, Confessions of a Radical Industrialist.
Interface, a commercial carpet tile manufacturer, began its sustainability journey in 1994 when Ray Anderson, founder and CEO, was asked the seemingly benign question of, "What is your company doing about the environment?" This quickly manifested into a 180-degree shift in the mindset of Anderson and his manufacturing methods. Anderson and his colleagues established their sustainability goal, Mission Zero, in that they will no longer take from the earth more than they can give back. In essence, they will no longer take, make, and waste the precious non-renewable resources that this planet offers.
Interface's now infamous plan to reduce their plunder of the Earth's resources is appropriately called Mount Sustainability. This model has 7 phases in which Interface must climb to reach their goal of Mission Zero. Each phase requires dedication by Anderson and his team to not only consistently do well by the Earth, but also to do well by business.
The first phase of the climb up Mount Sustainability is centered around the goal of zero waste. Waste is anything that does not add value to the consumer's product and should thus be eliminated. In 1994, Interface had company-wide sales of $700 million, and 10% of that was going right down the drain. This savings can be used toward more important ventures such as research and development, so to design even more energy-efficient renewable products and processes. The zero-waste approach brings in more money by increasing sales and profits, while at the same time eliminating refuse that would have inevitably ended up in a landfill. In Colleen's organization, they have initiated a Go Green campaign to recycle paper, plastic, and glass within the various departments. Even without 100% involvement throughout the organization, they are already on track to save $150,000 in the first 3 months, and that is just by collecting and recycling items that we all use every single day. Mary's company has a computer recycling program in which they either reuse the machines internally or send them to an appropriate e-waste facility.
The second phase focuses on reducing the amount of emissions and pollution that are leaving Interface factories through smokestacks and pipes. As think tank member Melissa Vernon points out, companies need to remember that they are their own supply chains. The technosphere uses the biosphere, and there has to be a balance between the two. Putting air pollution and dangerous solids and liquids from industry into the atmosphere and water systems is bad practice and must be stopped. A company must be willing to look at every chemical that is released into the environment and find acceptable alternatives that will do no harm to the earth. In order to meet this goal, companies should conduct life cycle assessments, or LCAs, and track not only the ecological impact of a product at its end of use, but also the impact of a product at its birth. This full circle approach and understanding is critical to sustainability.
Using renewable energy is key to the third phase of Mount Sustainability. Our dependence on the burning of fossil fuels for energy is unmanageable. Instead, we should focus on the biggest and most secure source of energy, the sun. It radiates 173,000 terawatts of energy to the earth every day, and we only use 15 terawatts of that to satisfy our daily energy needs. Though some argue that the costs of collecting, transforming, and generating solar energy are too high, the costs of doing nothing are far greater. In 2008, 28% of Interface's total energy usage came from renewable energy sources, including solar and wind. 8 out of 10 plants have reached 100% renewable electricity 10 years before their 2020 goal. The United States marketplace is also coming on board in regards to solar energy. In 2007, 324 megawatts of new solar technology was installed in the U.S., a 125% increase in 1 year.
Replicating nature in our factories is the fourth phase of Mount Sustainability. We can see throughout nature the cyclical model of reusing one plant's spent resources for the food of another plant. We must model our factories to operate like a living plant. By applying this to their manufacturing, Interface was able to use recycled materials in place of virgin raw materials by creating their cool blue carpet. This new product is made from their own factory's carpet scraps, as well as the PVC backings of carpets brought to them for recycling, no matter the manufacturer. This innovative use of reusable resources allows for Interface factories to divert nearly 1 million pounds of carpet from the landfill per week. The Xerox company has also taken this approach to heart in their Zero to Landfill campaign by recycling all of their copier components. Since 1991, Xerox has diverted 1.9 billion pounds from landfills, saving the company over $400 million each year. If we were in charge of procuring new copy machines, you can bet we would purchase them through Xerox.
The fifth phase of Mount Sustainability focuses attention on the highways, waterways, and rail lines that transport resources and goods across the world. Interface has established production facilities on every continent so to be closer to their various markets and to reduce some of their transportation costs, both monetarily and ecologically. They are using more rail transportation in Europe because it cuts the overall cost of moving goods by truck in half. In Asia, Interface uses shipping by sea, which reduces the energy consumption by 86% when compared to highway trucking. In the United States, Interface has partnered with the EPA's SmartWay Transportation Program to focus on making semi-trucks more efficient through such innovations as aerodynamic tune-ups and auxiliary power units to avoid idling. This allows for 245 million gallons of diesel to be saved per year by improving a truck's miles per gallon by just 1%. In just 2 years, 400 freight companies are estimated to save over $1.2 billion in fuel costs by participating in the SmartWay program.
People are at the center of the sixth phase of the climb. The stakeholders of any company, including the employees, suppliers, and customers, must be on board with decisions as powerful as zero waste, because without people, the mission will fail. Anderson and his management team have consistently focused on the needs of their employees, whether or not their business was booming or feeling the slights of economic recession. It is critical for organizations to focus on the personal aspect because reaching the summit of Mount Sustainability requires commitment from all people involved, the many stakeholders that can make or break a company. We have both accepted the sustainability buy-ins for not only our companies, but for our personal lives as well. By advocating for the needs of economic and ecological efficiency, we will be able to readily help our companies move forward with their sustainability missions.
The seventh phase of the Mount Sustainability model is the final ascent, which focuses on redesigning commerce by thinking outside of the box. Interface is stepping outside of their normal commerce model, simply selling carpets to companies, and are now leasing their carpet tiles. This is a completely new approach, and though there are pros and cons to this business venture, it has been very successful. Interface's customers and the environment benefit from this approach in that companies can lease carpeting, and when the life of the carpet has run out, Interface simply takes back the tiles and recycles them into new carpet. This is a true win-win situation. This new way of thinking is required for businesses to succeed and maintain economic and ecological sustainability throughout the coming years.
By the time Interface has climbed the 7 phases of Mount Sustainability, they will have met their goal, Mission Zero. The old model of plundering the earth for non-renewable resources, making oil-intensive products, and sending scraps and refuse to landfills will instead have a new model to live by. Take only renewable resources, make only reusable goods, and waste nothing. The ultimate success of this model lies in the fact that this approach is not only good for our planet, but that it is very good for business as well. Leading sustainability expert Peter Senge gives examples of other businesses that are seeing the economic benefits of sustainability. One of these companies is DuPont, and they are on track to grow their annual revenues by $2 billion by 2015 just from products that create energy efficiency and reduce greenhouse gases for customers.
Sustainability is key to economic endurance. As Anderson points out, businesses are the ones that got us into this mess, and they are the only ones who can get us out. Business and industry, not governments or NGOs, are the only institutions wealthy enough and pervasive enough to lead us into a future in which take, make, and waste becomes fully akin to the model we see in nature. Peter Senge agrees with this viewpoint and adds that organizations will only be made to change due to the perseverance of passionate individuals, people like Ray Anderson. Sustainability is no longer negatively correlated to profitability. Instead, the new cold eye capitalist will be taking lessons directly from a cold eye environmentalist like Anderson as they progress their business forward. As both of our companies progress with their own Mount Sustainability models, we look forward to being the passionate individuals that will help them develop throughout the 21st century and beyond.